Hey, welcome back to another Moralis video. My name is Bharat, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a newly launched token holder stats endpoint and how you can use this endpoint to actually get a summary of holder statistics for any token on EVM and Solana. So let's get started. So I'm just going to start with showing you the APIs in action over at Moralis.com. And if you're not familiar with Moralis, Moralis is a crypto terminal that's powered by our data APIs. And here you can find info about any token across any chain, including its prices, charts, historical holders, etc. And in this video, we're going to be looking at how you can use the holder stats API in order to look up the stats for any given token on EVM and Solana chains. So I'm just going to show you a particular token. So you can see I've got a couple of followed tokens here. I'm just going to click on Helium Network token and there we go. So now you can basically see the charts for HNT. You can also see the historical holder trends, etc. And what you see right here is basically data on the holder stats. You can see what's the change in the holders across various time frames. You can also see the size distribution in terms of the holders based on wallet size. And you can also see the holders acquisition based on the wallet's first interaction. So all of this data is coming in through our holder stats API, and you'll be able to get all of this in just one API call. As you can see, the holders trend shows you the change in holders across certain time frames. The size distribution basically gives you the distribution based on the wallet size. So how much percentage of the wallets are in the whale category, how much percentage are in the shark category, etc. And if you hover over them, you can see like how much percentage of the supply they need to control in order to become that particular category. And holders acquisition basically gives you like the breakdown in terms of swap, transfer, and airdrop. And this is really helpful whenever you're trying to analyze tokens, etc. So if you want to see this API, actually you can just click on API docs right here, and it's going to take you to docs.moralis.com, and that's where our APIs basically sit. So if you want to try out this API, you can basically head over to Solana API. So we have got holders APIs on both EVM and Solana chains. So if you want to see the EVM version, you can just click on the EVM API, else you can click on Solana API. And once you're here, you can click on API reference and then click on token API. So once you've done that, you can see we've got token holders right here, and you can see we've got token holder stats and time series. So token holder stats API is what actually powers all these stats, and token holder time series is what lets you actually power this time series chart of the holders. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for the holders time series video, but in this video we're going to be going over the holder stats and how you can actually use this API to get all of the stats. So now that we're here on the Solana API, you can click on holder stats, and now you can see this is the API that you basically need in order to get all of the holder stats. And this is the endpoint we hit. So you can see it's Solana gateway.moralis.io slash token slash mainnet followed by the token address. So if you want to try this out for this particular token, you can just copy the address, and let's come back here. You can paste your address right here. You also need your API key, which you can basically get by just clicking on get API key here. So as soon as you've clicked on this, it's going to take you to a login page. And as soon as you've logged in, you will be able to see your dashboard that gives you all the data you need to get started. You can basically see your component usage, your API key. You have links to docs, tutorials, etc. right here. So just copy your API key and you should be set. And once you're here in the docs, where was it? Yeah, here it is. Just paste your API key right here. That's it. And now your token address is also right here. So you can either test live API right from this, or you can just open a new terminal to try this. So I'm just going to open up a new terminal window so that it's easier for you to see. So I'm just going to copy this. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me just paste in the curl command. Awesome. So now we've basically gotten the response, and as you can see, we get the total holders. You get the holders by acquisition, whether it's swap, transfer, or an airdrop event. You can also see the holders change across various time frames. You can see we've got 3 days, 7 day, 30 day, etc. And now you can also see the holders distribution. So you can see how many of them are actually whales, sharks, dolphins, etc. So that's how you can use the holder stats endpoint in order to get all of these holder stats and make this kind of a UI. So essentially with this holder stats, you will be able to analyze various tokens. You can build like these kind of UIs for your particular token as well. So that's how you can basically use the holder stats endpoint to fetch this data for any Solana token. So now that we've seen it for Solana, let's basically try out the API for EVM. So for that, I'm going to open up like Wrap Bitcoin. So you can see this is the Wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum. And as you can see, we've got the charts for it. You can see the holders as well. And you can basically see the data that we have right here. You have the holder strengths. And like we saw, it's the changes in amount of holders over time. And supply distribution basically tracks how much percentage of the total supply is controlled by the top holders. And as you can see, we've got various distributions. And similarly, I've got the holders acquisition. So you can see what was the actual event based on the wallet's first interaction before they became an actual holder. And you can see that majority over here is a transfer event. And you can see we have got swap and we've also got airdrop. So to try this out, let's basically copy the token address, go back to our API. So if you want to try the EVM version, you can either just click here and it's going to take you straight to the holder stats API in EVM, or else you can click on this and also navigate to it. So I'm just going to click on this. So there we go. You can see it's basically under EVM API, under token, under holders, and there we go. So now to actually get the holder stats on EVM, just put in the address here, and you can see I've already got my API key here. And now you can either test it from the browser or you can just open up again in your terminal. I'm just going to open this up again on my terminal. All right. There we go. So now we've basically got the holder stats. As you can see, we are querying this particular endpoint deep index, and that's the endpoint for EVM that we have right here. So that's essentially how you can use the holder stats endpoint in order to fetch the holder stats. As you can see, we've got the total holders, holders by acquisition, holder changes, and apart from that, you've also got the holder supply. So this is what lets you kind of build this UI supply distribution. And we have seen now how you can use the holder stats endpoint in order to get all of these stats across both EVM and Solana chains. So if you have any questions related to the holder stats endpoint, feel free to drop them in the chat and be sure to check it out. And if you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to stay tuned to all our further videos. Thank you.